We are the living weapons of humanity. The Space Marines.
When we first started this game, the fantasy of being a Space Marine was really more about shooting and melee than it was about a Space Marine taking cover. The whole lore is about he's walking cover. That's why he's got those huge shoulder pads. And so he's designed to take quite a few more hits. And if you're a fan of Warhammer 40,000, you also know that they're based on more medieval knights than they are on sort of standard Marines. The medieval knights were really about going into battle and intimidating their opponents, and our Space Marines are the same. So the system was really designed around getting the player into combat using both melee and shooting to deal with these enemies. And we're designing a counter specifically around to play with that. So, you know, we're not destroying one or two guys that are whack-a-mole style at distance. You're going to be coming in and taking out, you have 30 guys to deal with melee and a couple range guys. So there's some challenges though, because we have to teach the players a new style of gameplay. You know, it's not something we have when we do our focus tests, and we find that a lot of players, well, maybe not within our own team, will be more shooty. Yeah. And so once they get introduced to melee, though, they start really using that as one of their tools. And so that was really one of the reasons we went away from the snap to cover system. Also, when you're pounding through combos, or not through combos, when you're pounding through melee, sometimes you don't want to get stuck as you're going through. Right. So it also interfered with that experience.
Were there any unique challenges in taking and making the transition from real-time strategy to third-person action?
Yeah, we learned a lot from when we first made the outfit. And we built an engine from scratch. It's designed for running consoles, and so we're trying to take one of our RTS engines and wedge it onto the console. And we rebuilt the team with a lot more sort of console-specific talent to make sure that it was marks.
Do you guys see the 40K Space Marine as kind of the first division Space Marine?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. We always say that.
Well, you see a lot of games these days, and kind of Space Marines become kind of a bit of a taboo phrase in a lot of games nowadays, because you see them so many, just the bald Space Marines, but the 40K Space Marine's been around for what, 25 years now?
Yeah, and I mean, even though people like kind of rag on the Space Marines, they all love those games. They all play them. I still play them all. Yeah. You know, so this is kind of nice to take the one that sort of, you know, I don't know if he's quite different looking. He's bright blue and gold. So taking that and picking that, we think the Space Marine and bringing it to the game fun. The more mainstream gaming culture. I suppose instead of being this RTS that's kind of still hard to get into, this is something that we hope will show the whole world, or all the gaming world, why Warhammer 40,000 is so cool. So every weapon that you use, you always get a reward, and you're able to apply a series of upgrades to each of the weapon classes throughout the game. And so the way that the game is being built is there's sort of our core gameplay, and we punctuate it with what we call our set pieces, which is really a blend of a cinematic experience that the player is actually involved with, as opposed to just watching the cinematic.
Do you have a personal preference toward either melee or shooting? Or?
You know, I'm more like probably when I play is like 60% melee for me personally, and 40% shooting. The game is really designed as more 80-20 experience, 80% shooting, 20% melee is kind of mantra we use, but it really depends on the player. Right. I'm more of a player that wants to sort of run right into the middle with our bull rush, set all the guys flying, shoot the guys in the distance, and take the guys out, because I guess I'm impatient. So I was like, get in combat.
About how far along in the game, in production cycle, is Space Marine?
I'll do another year to go.
Another year?
Yeah. We're not really talking about our sort of ship dates, but yeah, we've been working on it for about a year, but really we want to focus on quality and make sure it's done right.